Hey, what's up? I'm gonna let it ride for just a second. This is Air Raid, something back from 1985. I was probably around during that time. All right. Hello. I like Go-Go. Y'all like Go-Go? Like I said, that was Air Raid back in 1985, bringing us on today. Welcome to Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges. I'm Calvin, or CPJR if you know me, or CPJR 300 if you feel me. And welcome to The Fold. So, is that one? No, The Frame. I said I'm wrong already. Welcome to The Frame. So this is basically my YouTube channel and Substack, Transparent Conversations, Elevated Exchanges. It used to be a podcast when I talked about life, and with a special emphasis on non-monogamy, because I am ethically non-monogamous. I've been living that way for a while. Yeah, so that's a whole nother part. So right now, with everything going on, we have to really just talk about what's happening to the country today, because it's something that we thought we'd never see. Just out and out violations to the Constitution, violations of our rights, putting citizens in death, and people are dying in the street from interactions with ICE. And then we come to find out that they ain't been trained. They actually were told to train to violate the Constitution. I'm gonna play that clip. But I just I'm late on doing this episode because I don't know, just late. Everything's going pretty good in my life. I guess we should talk about just a couple things. Trump. The whatever acts he was using whatever lie he was telling to allow him or trick us or have us to believe that he has the ability to just tear off the entire world and have us pay for it, and then pretend like he don't know where the money came from. That's what's his game. The Supreme Court said, "Nah, you can't do that." So now they're working on other ways to steal our money and act like they don't know where it's coming from. Are we doing all well? Money that we don't know where it came from, and we don't know what we're going to use it for. So that's not how the government works. Congress has the ability or the responsibility of putting tax on its citizens to raise money for various shared things we want to do, military, the roads, transportation, big things that it would take all of us chipping in to do. That's what taxes are for. That's Congress's responsibility, not the President of the United States. I don't know why this man finds it really hard to do his job instead of doing whatever he wants to do. Obviously, that's not working for anyone. So, things are like that's the first nail. He's lost most of his other cases that he's had violating constitutional law rights. He's lost pretty much all of them. And the only people that seems to be scared of him is the Epstein class and people who want to be in the Epstein class. Corporations have basically been complying to his demands ahead of time, and that's why he's sitting on a war chest full of money, because they don't give a fuck about us, right? They basically have decided that it's easier to give him money or bow the knee to him than to stand up against his pushes the way the people have, because the people won't have money to just throw away. We're getting hit left and right by the way these terrorists are hitting us, and this him gaslighting us or trying to gaslight us, and then come to find out it's really coming out. Since he lost his case, there was a whistleblower I'm gonna play that first because this is about accountability. There has to be accountability. There has to be accountability. Real crimes are happening. 2 people were shot in the street by apparently by federal agents, call them ICE or whatever you want to call them, were not trained properly and did not understand that they can't just the streets. And being in the streets is not just open season on citizens and immigrants. Like, they didn't really care who they got. And the problem is now, right? You also got a lot of immigrants out here who are actually ICE. They out here doing what they want to do, thinking that they're going to be free to be able to get away with what they're getting away with. It's just a really bad situation, and it probably goes to, or it's probably that way by design, being that the 1% or the billionaire class, the Epstein class, have all the money in the control. Like, we're basically fighting and killing each other for money to do a job. And a lot of people, even with this guy whistleblowing, they don't even believe him. They think that he's whistleblowing because he got a check from the ACLU. Like, that's what the ACLU, which is American Civil Liberty Union, right? They basically fight the government for our rights. So they would pay another lawyer who works for ICE. They would pay him to whistleblow, commit perjury for a couple dollars, and he was probably making dollars on his job. Doesn't make any sense, because you just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe that the federal government, or you want to believe that the federal government would put people on the street to beat up citizens and beat up immigrants and violate the Constitution and take away rights by just detaining people and beating them up and breaking into their houses without any type of warrant. The whole premise of the whole way that this is happening is illegal, because they should not be just out there grabbing people and detaining them for no reason. There's no reason for these people to be detained. That's what we're talking about. And this is and they know it's illegal. You can't. If the whole policy is, if you can't deport somebody the moment you catch them, right, and then you allow them to stay in your country to pursue some other means of being legalized or documented immigrant, at that point you're documented. At that point that you don't put them on a plane, at that first contact, this is me talking. This is me making sense, because what they're doing don't make any sense. Them making billions of dollars to detain Americans and just people who are happen to be traveling. I got something to show on that though. But just the amount of rights violations that are ticking up, people are getting afraid, right? Because basically at some point, it's pretty clear with the amount of his approval rating that or the polls are way down. How can he win? Who's going to ride those coattails? The coattails he has are going down. Therefore, the Republicans are going down. There's no way to cheat it. There's no way to, because it would make any sense with it. If all of a sudden we get to the end of this and he won and retained hold of the House and the Senate, he cheated. That's it. But it ain't gonna be like, of course we're not gonna do that, because we're gonna fight him in court as we should, because it's gonna be very apparent they're not that smart. It's gonna be very apparent if they do try to cheat or do try to do something to suppress the vote, try to intimidate people not to show up at the polls, or even interfere people going to the polls. That's it. It's no more. There's nothing else we could do, because he's basically said he don't give a fuck about he doesn't care about the Constitution. Doesn't give a fuck. So, it is what it is. War. I don't know what else you're gonna do. Are you going to work after that? How do you go to work after that? After your president has said there are no more elections, that's it. It's done. I'm the president. When I say go, and I'm gonna stick my illegal, untrained thugs on you if you try to do anything. What do you do with that? You go to work the next day. If you're lucky to have a job, because the dollar gonna fall through the floor. Through the floor. It will be worth nothing. All right, so I'm gonna read this one paragraph. What am I doing? Yeah, read this one paragraph from there has to be accountability. Real crimes are happening. Article I posted, essay I posted on my Substack. It's free to read there. So anyway, there's only two things that will get my vote this year during the midterms. I need candidates that understand affordability, that understand that affordability isn't a hoax, and they have to know that America has to hold these people accountable for all the crimes and rights violations at every level of this regime. For there to be reconciliation, there has to be accountability. Forgiveness does not exist for this process. I mean, the winning message for Democrats is affordability, accountability, and abolish ICE. That's it. I mean, the other things we need to do, need to add to the Supreme Court, or impeach the Supreme Court, because this whole thing about Citizens United and corporations have rights and just blind money, just money into the just dump amount of money you want into the system doesn't work. It's just buying the system. We got APAC got a hold of the system, and then you have, I don't know what else, corporations. These two corporations, the billionaires in your corporation, wanting to do whatever it is they want to do into the mix. And we already have one instance of a PAC that's Elon Musk related, did cheat and send out pre-printed or pre-selected ballots. That's against the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not right. You can't reprimand it. In Fulton County. So when something happened, we knew he dumped 270 something million into that race near the end, and it changed the outcome. Unfortunately, we just don't have enough. I don't know how we can encourage people to be not low information voters, like really want to get involved in this elections and find out why you're voting for somebody you're voting for, and does that person have my interests at heart? Because you got duped, America. This dude don't care nothing about you. Every day you could tell when he found out about the tariffs, and he went off on this tangent of talking about foreign influence on the Supreme Court. That's just crazy, right? He's just gonna say anything. So we'll see. Tonight is the State of the Union. It's February 24th, 2026. It's State of the Union. I will not be watching it. There not that many. A lot of Democrats will be not there. They will be attending something else. I wouldn't go. I would not go because I wouldn't want to give this regime any additional legitimacy. Since they've decided to lie and cheat on such a level that's costing people their lives and telling us that we crazy, and they're torturing people right now today, and then to hide the Epstein files. It's just a lot of stuff happening at once. Here's this videotape. This is going to be that's what I'm saying. This is going to be about accountability. Like, this guy said something that I haven't heard mentioned from anybody in this regime, and that is actually protecting and defending, supporting the Constitution. Because that's what he made his vow to. And for the rest of you that are still in the government, right now might be that time. But one second, if you like this, please hit the click a button, a share button, a like button. Well, share is not a button, but share this, like it, and please subscribe to the channel for more information so we can have more transparent conversations, possibly with you or some other interesting people. Oh, and also, just to say this, if you are a Republican and for some reason you saw this and somehow you decided that, I might want to be a guest on this young man's show and talk to him. You don't want to talk to me. I'm not open-minded on that case, right? I am not open-minded to talk to Republicans because we don't go from Republicans to autocrat fascism, beating and shooting people in the streets, and y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all need to be, that whole party needs to be gotten rid of from the local level to the top. Something is wrong with that party if they keep changing the goalposts. I mean, like 1 minute y'all don't want pedophilia, the next minute it ain't my business what pedophilia all about. It's just a bunch of full of nothings, man. Full of nothings, and you're being used. You're being easily manipulated. First video.
I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution when I joined ICE on August 1st, 2021, as an assistant chief counsel. I followed that oath for 4.5 years, working side by side with ICE officers. And I followed it when I resigned on February 13th, 2026, a little over a week ago, so that I could speak to you today. I am here because I am duty-bound to report the legally required training program at the ICE Academy is deficient, defective, and broken. 5 months ago, I was asked to teach the law to new cadets at the ICE Academy in Glencoe, Georgia, where ICE is training its new, inexperienced recruits. I volunteered, those without law enforcement training, I volunteered to take on this assignment based on my experience in law enforcement oversight, including at the state and local level prior to my work with ICE. On my first day, I received secretive orders to teach new cadets to violate the Constitution by entering homes without a judicial warrant.
That's gotta be illegal.
For the last 5 months, I watched ICE dismantle the training program, cutting 240 hours of vital classes from a 584-hour program. Classes that teach the Constitution, our legal system, firearms training, the use of force, lawful arrest, proper detention, and the limits of officers' authority.
See?
For example, they ceased all of the legal instructions regarding use of force.
See? They're
this
busting
means
windows.
that cadets are not taught what it means to be objectively reasonable, the very standard which the law requires them to meet when deciding whether or not to use deadly force.
So
our jobs as instructors are to teach them so well that they can make split-second decisions about what they can and cannot do in life or death situations. Yet, in the name of churning out an endless stream of officers, DHS leadership has dismantled the academic and practical tests that we need to know if cadets can safely and lawfully perform their job.
Okay.
All to satisfy an administration demanding they train thousands of new officers before the end of the year. DHS told the public that new cadets receive all the training they need to perform their duties, that no critical material or standards have been cut. This is a lie.
This is a lie. How many times have we said that about this organization, this regime? So these are the dead people, people that have died due to violence by ICE, the people that they were just talking about who were supposed to be trained, and we already see that they aren't trained, right? Like the worst part to this whole thing, for me, not the worst part is these people that have died, the people that are still being tortured right now at this point in the detention centers and still being just caught on the street and they're trying to live their life correctly, and people are just attacking them. So that's what I mean. Like this whole thing has to be because there's something wrong with DHS. The DHS, it always happens under their watch, and they always can figure out a way through DHS to come up with a secret police. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're like now this whole thing with Palantir where they're wanting to, and even Anthropic, and they're wanting to use AI to build databases on people. So when you give your address, they can just pull that up and see you live there and see everything associated with you, like what issues you have, warrants, all that kind of stuff, just by them saying who lives in that house. Oh, we had our eyes on that house. He go there all the time. You know what I mean? That's the amount of surveillance they want, and we can't trust them with this. Right? This ICE is not being used in the way that it's supposed to be used. They have turned it into something else. And you heard the gentleman how he was talking. He started under Biden doing the job. ICE has a job to do and a function to do, and they have a way to do it. It was intentional that we have ICE on the street behaving the way they're behaving now. They did this with intention. It's with malice. It's to be cruelest. And also, it is illegal because they're already saying that he's lying. That I could tell you right now, that guy got the receipts. He is not going to come there and risk his life to testify against this violent organization, DHS and ICE and CPB, without knowing that if I do this and I don't have my T's crossed and I's dotted, that I might not be able to get some help with securing my future, my body, my physical body, because these people are. Because right now at this point, that's the gauntlet on the ground. Boop, that's the signal right there. Boop, we already know we know that the midterms are coming, right? So what he just did is said at this point right now, if you aren't getting ready to come out as a whistleblower, you're gonna be complicit. Right? You're going to be complicit because if he's already told you that everything that's happening in DHS with ICE is illegal. They're giving out illegal instructions and they're cutting the instruction time down to get more people on the street. They're already changing the standards, the physical standards, the mental standards. They can't pass an open book test. So you already know it's coming. Like right now, you're complicit. You didn't come out with this guy. He's already said these are the crimes that are going on in this organization. So if you stay, you're complicit. You will be held accountable because Democrats, there has to be accountability, right? You cannot let anyone go. Because we can't trust these people anymore. They decided they don't want to live under the Constitution. I can understand you want to make changes. That's what the Republicans have been saying for years. But now they want to ignore the Constitution when they were really extra constitutionality or extra constitutionalists under Obama after he got elected. And then it was all about the birth certificate. Some shit that ain't even in there. So there you go.
I have this two-part question, but I'm going to start off real quick on this. So I'm just a little bit worried about a bunch of people who've been breaking the law knowingly, and they know if they lose,
this is how the conversation is going to start shifting. This is where this conversation is going to start shifting because they had their little first year, they party and they were lying about Doge and doing all the shit they want to do, toe down the East Wing, rename the Constitution. But now it's like, oh shit. Oh right, that's right. We do have a Constitution we gotta pay attention to. Oh wow, they do have they do have a chance to hold us accountable for the crimes that we've been doing, and they are willing to do it. They will do it because I've already been. This is him talking. I've already been found guilty. So I'm just gonna keep doing the crime.
In the Senate, then what type of extremes will they go to hold on to that power? So I'm just a little bit. I just want to put that in your mind. Like, what is the plan for that escalation? You don't have to answer that today. But my other question is clearly somebody who wrote the Constitution forgot about the consequences for the president that breaks the law, and so, if we can't give consequences to this man, which I don't believe.
We need to reform the Supreme Court.
For presidents, we need to move forward with some sort of new plan. If presidents break the law like this, there needs to be consequences. But If we can't give consequences, let's just say we can't do it for the president.
Well,
There needs
stop
to
voting for
be a
Republicans.
law somehow where consequences are for the people who are in Congress who allow it because they are a part of the crime. So if we can't give consequences to the president, then we need to hold something over the heads of people who willingly go along with crime like that, so that they'll think twice before they vote and accept all this. That's all. I'm just
This is
wondering,
everybody's
hopefully we
thinking.
can
She's a
come up with a new constitution.
soldier. I really am impressed by her.
Yeah, I mean, I always say our founding fathers could not have fathomed, right, or didn't account for a lawless man like Trump being
Never
president
thought
of the
about
United
if a thug
States
got
and
president.
having no regard for the Constitution and the rule of law in this
Y'all
country.
honorable men.
Was taking his oath as a suggestion,
Shit.
which I think he does. I mean, there are consequences.
about
You know,
all
there's impeachment is a consequence.
That's what it's
But
supposed
then
to
we
be.
will end up with JD fans, so I don't know about how I feel about that.
He just lies.
He is a
Everything he does is a lie.
34 time convicted felon, and so I don't think that he is without consequence. It's just the power balance at the moment that makes it that he is avoiding those consequences. But I do believe that, you know, might take a long time for people to achieve justice, but justice will come.
Eventually.
So, yeah,
Yeah. So
we'll see. We'll see. We'll take.
I want to say one thing about this though. Like I'm gonna play one more video, and then we'll wrap it up. But I want to say one thing about this though. It's like this is the best. I remember after Obama, when Obama was elected, and you know, I was walking around, you know, pretty proud and shit. You know, first black man elected president, blah blah blah. But I see it didn't really change. Nothing really changed that much. But then that's when it popped in my head. Oh, this is the best they could do. Like this constant conflict, place of inequality. It always seems to get to this point where it just all falls apart. Like they can't get past it. This system of capitalism. It just can't get over itself, where some people who are just stuck, like some people are really in this thing for the movement, like, you know, what moves the race or what moves us as a people forward. And you know the bad, you know, what's bad, like tribalism, you know, bigotry, racism, that stuff doesn't work, but work best as diversified. But you have people who just do not care, don't believe that, and don't really see or aren't able to actually look at history objectively, right? You're not gonna the evildoer, they never win. They never win. They just don't win. But the world keeps cranking on because on some level we have to agree. Now, what if we got to the point where we just always agreed? Where could we go then, right? But we always have this thing about this nationalism, this pride, this race pride thing. It seems to come from certain people, you know, of a certain shade. It keeps coming from that side, but we just can't get over this hump. You know what I mean? Like, we can only get this far before it all just falls apart. That sucks. I think I'm here.
I was reapplying for my work visa in the immigration office. I was doing everything completely legally.
I'm gonna say this one thing for this video. What's heartbreaking about these videos? These are 3 documented immigrants. Like now, if I see somebody using the term illegal immigrant, I would say, stop doing that. That's a slur now at this point. These people weren't illegal immigrants. They were documented. And they shouldn't have been in detention centers. It's the thing, if you build the number of detention centers that they want to build, who are going to be in all those detention centers? That's only about a year's worth or 2 years worth of actual hardcore gutting our whole entire country. But then what are you going to do with them then when they're just big ass detention centers and they don't have enough people to fill in them? Then you're going to be back at you before it, just thirsty for another grift.
11 and a half years ago. I was granted asylum. Then I got a notice to appear in one of ICE's offices in June for what they called a routine check-in.
We went to Cancun for vacation with my family. When we came back,
So they were here illegally, all documented.
I didn't understand why.
They said, you need to reapply through the consulate and we need to send you back to Canada. And in my head, I thought that meant, okay, I'm just getting on a plane and going home.
I was never concerned. I had a green card. I traveled multiple times before out of the country.
I was sitting there looking for flights to go home and I was taken.
They were like, we have to detain you.
I was under arrest.
With no explanation.
You'll never see this on Fox.
You're kidnapping me.
This is on the
They said
Time,
they
New
are
York Times
detaining and
YouTube
deporting
page.
people who are here illegally and criminals.
I was never in the country illegally.
I did not come here
It
illegally.
was legal from day one.
Yeah.
You know, having a mother taken away from the kids, I felt like a knife was just like, it's like stabbing my heart.
I never expected this in America.
We never
I was
expected it too, and I've been here all my life.
to the
I don't know
first
what's going
detention
on.
center
But I
in
know it's
chains.
here.
When I got there, I
It's
was
possible.
like, where am I? It was like a prison.
They took us to the booking. We're asked to strip naked in front of each other.
There were 30 of us in one cell, just
So-
like a
so
line
imagine
of
you
bunks,
traveling.
and then open
So
showers
imagine you
and
traveling, you
toilets.
bebopping, you know what I'm saying, having a good time. You gotta make a connection flight, or you go on your last flight, next thing they know, sign, oh, you gotta come with us because something's wrong with your citizenship. You know what I'm saying? Or hold up, something didn't come through. So we just gonna go ahead and detain you, you know, for your safety and our safety. Why are they being detained? They aren't dangerous. That's what I'm saying. The whole detainment thing is a moneymaker. It's not part of the system, but they're making it part of the system because they can make money off of it. Because those companies only exist to detain people. The two companies, I should know them, but I don't. But I think one is mentioned here. Anyway,
Supposed to use this toilet in front of 12, 14 other people.
If I wanted to use the bathroom, I felt violated.
What did we do to be treated this way? That is inhumane.
I was treated like a criminal, like I killed somebody.
And every single time I asked a question, it was, I'm not your case officer. I don't know. I'm just doing my job.
They said, listen, I know every one of you will say, I left my kids at home with no one to take care of them. I don't care. You will say that you haven't eaten anything all day long. I don't care. You say that you're terrified, you are here unjustly. I don't care.
It was super cold.
Freezing.
They nicknamed them the ice boxes.
I don't think it's more than 30 degrees.
We're huddled, trying to stay warm, wrapped in these aluminum foils, looking like
how is that
dead
not
bodies.
torture?
There's no window that you can look outside.
Isn't that
I was able
unconstitutional?
to breathe
Unconstitutional?
fresh air.
Fluorescent
Cruel and
lights
unusual
were shining
punishment?
24/7.
Keeping you in a
I
box for
couldn't
34
sleep. We
degrees.
kept hearing rats.
That's just
squeak,
torture.
Like, scream. Oh.
One of the girls had her period and there was blood everywhere.
They knew I was in a menstrual cycle, but it was not offered to shower for 5 days.
This nurse comes in and she's like, pregnancy test. She made us pee in front of each other into these Dixie cups. We're all just standing there in a circle, holding our open urine, and she's plopping these pregnancy tests in and then being like, okay, you guys are gonna check it back in the toilet.
The food was horrible.
It was disgusting.
I ended up getting very sick.
I lost a lot of my weight, 20 pounds.
My body was really starting to shut down. I felt like, oh my goodness, am I gonna die here?
I worked as a journalist in Egypt and I was persecuted and detained and tortured. My experience at the Butler County Jail was more traumatizing than my detention in Egypt.
I got woken up in the middle of the night and they're like, Jasmine, you're leaving. I jumped up, I'm like, I'm going home. And they're like, we're being transferred.
She said, we're gonna transfer you to Maine. I was like, Maine?
You're going to Arizona. I'm like, why am I going to Arizona? I begged every single guard for help. Can you please tell anyone, your supervisor, that I would love to pay for my flight home? Just get me out of here. ICE issued a statement saying I was detained for not having legal documentation to be in the US. I do not support anyone being in a country illegally. I
So
had
she
all my
was just a traveler.
paperwork. I was in the immigration office. I was never in the country illegally.
Says a green card is a privilege, not a right. And under our nation laws, our government has the authority to revoke a green card if a law is broken and abused. In my early 20s, I was young.
I would have been in my early. I had the same story.
I got in trouble for possession of marijuana.
Yeah.
I was pardoned It was dismissed. It's been years. And
Yeah.
I have renewed my
It's
green
legal
card
now in most states.
twice. Never had
And so
an issue
this
with
woman in a
immigration.
nice house with a
USCIS
family,
obtained evidence
this gentleman,
that indicated
he wasn't
you
look at the
provided
sweater.
material
This man's
support
not dangerous.
to a tier 3
Unless you get
terrorist
him mad, I'm sure he'll
organization.
probably
I
want to shoot
volunteered
you.
with a nonprofit
You're a serious
that took care
dude.
of orphans and
But not dangerous.
poor and sick people in Egypt. So basically, they tried to link this nonprofit, which is a most reputable, respected nonprofit, to a tier 3 undesignated terrorist organization. This is how they frame it.
Just a number
I
of
don't
lies.
feel like this was a mistake. I
that
feel
we
like
hear
this
on a
was on
regular
purpose.
basis.
That is not a rare case. This is systematic.
They are just grabbing anyone that they can.
They're trying to find ways to deport as many people, even if these people were here legally.
Not knowing what's gonna happen to me, I feel like that was the worst. Cause I wanted just to call my husband. I wanted to hear my kids, and my kids are okay. You know, during the
That's
time
not
that I was
acceptable.
there, it was also my daughter's birthday.
That's not acceptable.
I feel like they took that away from me. I was scared they were gonna forget me.
I was put on solitary confinement for 6 days for advocating for myself and the other Muslim inmates to have a quiet space to pray. That's when my mental health started to deteriorate too fast. It's just a matter of time. I'll get
This
deported
man
and get
went
killed.
to
That was the thing that I couldn't get
put
out
his
of my
life in
mind.
his
I'll
faith
just get deported and get
to
killed.
get through this thing, and they
I
wouldn't
had a
give him that.
medical check and I had to go visit this nurse. She could tell that I was distraught and confused, and she looked at me and she goes, "Can I pray for you?" And she said this like beautiful prayer in Spanish that I have no idea what she was saying. And I just cried and I cried and I cried, and she just held my hands, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get through this.
An officer called and said, "Pack your stuff."
Where am I going? Just pack your stuff.
Pack your stuff.
I
What
was
stuff?
transferred back to the San Diego
Pack your
prison.
junk.
2-hour
What
drive?
stuff did
Someone
they
just
have?
grabbed me and said, "You're coming with me this way."
Your
She's like, yeah, I'm
toothbrush. Your
comfort.
toothbrush.
She's
your
being released today. My eyes just like,
utensils,
what?
probably.
Said, "You are released." I actually forget what the word released mean in English. To be honest, it's just, I didn't, what do you mean by you're released? I was in a shock.
They stripped the chains off of me quickly, snuck me into the airport, escort me onto the plane, sit me down, and they're like, "Okay, you're free. You can use your cell phone now. Take care."
Just
And
take
they were kind of
care.
like outside, and I did not know where to go. I didn't have a phone.
An officer said, "We just got this letter today. The Department of Homeland Security reinstated your asylum status." It was the happiest moment of my entire life.
He had stuff.
So the first thing we did was to drive to the mosque.
How do you end up with stuff in
Then we went
detention?
out to eat in a Palestinian
I'm
restaurant.
glad he had stuff though,
I
man.
ate a lot.
That's true.
I was happy to see my husband. I was
And
more happy to
children.
see my girls. No offense. The youngest one was having nightmare, kept waking up. So I knew they needed me. And just kind of reassure them I'm okay, even though it's still hard for me. It's still fragile.
I am a different person than the person that got detained. I lost my job that I love. I lost my health insurance. Was not able to finish my degree, all because I got detained for 73 days.
I
73
was so
days.
lucky to have only been in there for 2 weeks. Can you imagine someone in the system that doesn't have my privilege? All the lawyers, all the money, all my connections, majority of the women that I met have been in there for months. I received a 5-year ban from America. Everyone asked me, they're like, "Well, you're never gonna go back, are you?" I'm appealing. I wanna go back. I love America.
I am in the process now of getting my citizenship.
I still love the American people, but I'm doubting if I ever feel safe and call the United States my home. I don't think this government will stop.
Your government is funding a system that doesn't follow any rules.
Immigrants will be the first target. After that, they will target any opposition. Violating due process this time means they will violate it again and again and again.
Yo, see what I'm saying? This is what's happening every day. Like, this is what's happening. Like, the gentleman already told you. He already told everybody if you work at the ICE, you know it's illegal. You know we're doing crimes. So if you don't really get out now, you're going to be complicit, right? Because it's going to be accountable. If you're a Democrat, there's no reconciliation. There's just penalty, prosecute as many of these people as possible because they know what they're doing. They should not be on the street. People are dead because of this. People are dying right now. There's the mass deportation. See, they didn't, gaslighting, right? The mass deportation never said anything about all immigrants. That's what it's boiling down to. All immigrants are going to be deported. They're going to be detained and deported, not just deported because the money's in the detention, right? They're trying to get airlines. It has to be stopped. ICE has to be stopped. I don't know what really needs to be done to ICE, but just the way they have it all bundled together, like FEMA is relief from disasters. They don't have anything to do with enforcement, and the reason the DHS bill is held up right now is because of ICE enforcement. Has nothing to do with FEMA. Has nothing to do with emergency management. You see what I'm saying? So, and there's already a bill. There's a bill just to fund those things. ICE, Coast Guard, not ICE. I'm sorry, Coast Guard, FEMA. Other parts of it that's not enforcement, immigration enforcement, but it's all tied together now. Now you just stuck. TSA is working without pay now because this all shouldn't be tied together. ICE and CBP do their own thing because they want to be enforcement and they need to be regulated as an enforcement body because they have right now it's just too much necessary contact with citizens. I don't know what. That's what I'm saying. They don't understand. Like we're like, why is ICE talking to me? I'm a citizen. What are you talking about? I have nothing to do with ICE. I'm not an immigrant. And they telling immigrants, these people, 73-day detainment. There was 73 days at 100. Let's just round it up to $187. Maybe say $200 a day, right? 73 days. How much money was that? How much money did they make? They pay subpar. The food is subpar. We already know that. No heat. So they saving on utilities. Remember, these are for-profit centers. These are not government. They don't care about they care about spending money because they want to get as much profit as possible. So if they charging $200 a night, let me see how much money they getting. $200 a night. I know I should be able to do this in my head, but I don't. I could. $14,000. So it's $14,000 just for her. The 73 days that she stayed there, the government paid that detention center $14,600. They got to pay staff. How much they did in food for 73 days? How much? They say $3 a day. It's like $3 a day for food, right? 15. This is what the government said. I don't know what office they were saying, like $3 a meal, so 3 meals a day. And they saying, I heard today that they're trying to cut back to 2 meals a day. $3 per meal. That's what they said. That's all you need. $3 per meal. So how much is that? $15. They making money, right? It's crazy, man. It's crazy, but it's not funny. It's not a funny situation. It's absurd. That's why, it's absurd that what's absurd is that the fact that you still can see these videos online and then you want to go then you can go and actually look them up, look at the comments. And the comments from MAGA, they're guys. No, sometimes they're women too. They're like, he's lying. The whistleblower, he's lying. They got to him. They paid him money. Oh yeah. No. But you're watching how ICE is acting, but maybe I don't know. I'm not a Fox watcher. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is to just watch Fox 24/7 and believe everything they say. Like, I have critical thinking skills, and I would want to verify everything, so it wouldn't last that long. But they just want to watch it and believe that ICE is out there acting correctly. How do you One more video.
Accountability for your actions. You can take all the credit in the world for the things that you do right, as long as you also take responsibility for the things you do wrong. It must be a balanced equation. You don't get it one way and not the other. You get to take credit when you also take accountability. Take accountability for
So
your
I put that in there. I said, like, this is what I want you. I put that in there, like,
world.
okay, so this is what you will not hear tonight. If you watch the State of the Union, you will not hear accountability. You will not hear take account. You won't hear anything. You're gonna hear. Was I cooking toast? I think I was cooking toast. So you won't hear take accountability at all. You will just hear he's gonna say everything's great. He's gonna talk about the courts, talk about he need to get them under his control. He's gonna talk about the wars he saved. He's on a right there about to have a war with Iran. Nobody can seem to come to a consensus as to why we're having a war with Iran. Usually, so I was 59, right? I'm 60 this year. So I've been through like a couple wars in this country, and it's always like a stark time, right? The president is usually coming on daily, talking about what's happening, the build-up, what their plan or the strategy is going to be, and why we're doing it. What's going to tell the country when it's over, we've achieved our goals. What's the goals for Iran? It's not for. I can see why Iran want. I gotta lose some weight, right? I see why Iran keeps wanting nuclear weapons, because if you have nuclear weapons, they don't fuck with you. They can't, you know what I'm saying? They gotta think twice before, knocking on your door. That's why they keep pursuing it. They can't trust you. Keep doing shit to them. So I can't blame them either. I'm gonna want a gun too. If you have a gun and you keep coming to my house, I'm gonna want a gun too, so you stop coming to my house. That just makes sense to me. So we don't know what that's gonna be about. Good luck watching the State of the Union. It's gonna be stupid. It's past his bedtime. He's gonna be talking crazy. There's nothing good. He can talk about affordability. There's nothing. There's no plan for nothing. Democrats, you have one job. Tell us about how you want to work on affordability. Talk about how you want to hold these people accountable, and talk about what needs to take the place of ICE, because ICE needs to be abolished. That's basically it right there, straight down the line. We gotta get these people out, these criminals out. We gotta restore our place in the world order. We gotta become trustworthy again, and just common sense. We don't have any common sense. We don't know what don't happen one day after another. We don't know. We know we're being gaslit, but really don't know how stupid this dude is. Is he really that dumb, or is this all an act? He just been getting by like that. But I guess it might not be an act, because nobody seems to tell him it doesn't work like that. Terrorists don't work like that, sir. It's a tax. You can't keep taxing the people for no reason. Just don't want to go that way. All right, so that's it. Affordability, accountability, abolish ICE. Winning ticket. That's it. It's the winning ticket, man. That's all we're gonna get out of this. Let's play some go-go. What y'all want to hear? I like this go-go thing. I'm definitely gonna be going out catch some go-go for the spring and summer. Apparently it's like I find in bands that are new, so this is gonna be a new band. I think they're called District Kings.
We gonna drive down the highway. See the poles on the side of the highway. Right back. Boom.
Yeah, District Kings. They do. I like the dance move. They play around here. Actually, they are going to be. I'm sorry. They're gonna be up at a little place up the street. Used to be Fusion, the African place. You went Allentown Road, right before you get to Branch Avenue. So they're gonna be there coming up. So definitely gonna catch them.
Downstairs a little bit.
catch them when we start going out for the summer. Looking forward to it. It's good to see Go-Go still out here, though. Alright, y'all, I'm out. Peace, blessings. See y'all next time. I don't know what I'm gonna write about. I don't know when I'll be back, but I'll figure it out. Stay woke. Power the people, and we will win. There's more of us than them.